Management in Cleveland, Ted Klopp, Ken Dworsnik. It's been a long time.
What is this? What are we doing?
This is episode 140, which we have just our schedules have not connected in
No,
recent weeks. It's really been
no.
kind of interesting.
Things kind
You've
of
been
fell off the deep end.
you've been trying to hire people. I've been working. Maybe working somewhere else at some point. We'll see. I don't know. So I don't know. But I think the best thing we can do to get the show going is just do some jersey numbers. I mean,
Jersey
what a
numbers, I
great
love it.
way to segue and start a podcast and talk some jersey numbers. Looking at 40s from the Cavs, your Guardians and Indians, and the Browns. Let's start with the Cavs. What do you think on that one?
Well, I know it's not Sean Kemp because even though he was
No,
40
no.
when he was in Seattle, when he came here, what did he do? 4?
I think
he did-
so. 40, I think it was his waist size by the time he was
Well,
done.
that's yeah. Um, 40. Anybody of note?
No.
No. Okay, I'll just punt them.
Barry Clemens, James Edwards, who was pretty much known for playing for the Pistons opposed to the Cavaliers. Tyler Zeller, I know you were a big fan of him.
Oh yeah.
And Eddie Tavares in 2017. Those are your 40s for the Cavs.
Okay.
Let's try the Browns. Maybe the Browns. I think you got one for sure.
Oh boy. Van, no. Was
Van
Van
Morrison?
Wader 50 or 40?
No, he must be 50 because he's not 40.
Okay.
You should get one. There's
I
one
should
guy
One guy, current or in my lifetime?
in the past.
Okay,
Our
40.
teams were bad, and he got the most notoriety
Oh,
in one
Peyton
year.
Hillis.
Peyton Hillis is correct.
Yeah,
The king of Madden.
yeah. The
Yeah,
1 year
Madden
cover
cover.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dub Jones. Don't forget about Dub Jones.
I thought he pitched for the Indians.
Nope.
Hmm.
Tariq Salah. Remember him?
Okay.
Howard Cassidy, who won the Heisman one year.
Actually, now that you say it, I do remember Tariq Salah.
I know you do.
Salah, whatever.
And Eric Barnes, who
No,
was a very good player in the late 50s and early 60s for the Browns.
don't remember him.
And he was considered the best 40 ever for the Browns. So there you go. Now we move to our very hot baseball team, who I think has a chance to make the playoffs, by the way, which is kind of exciting.
That is kind of exciting.
You got to get somebody with 40. There's the names I have on here are much better than
Well,
the other lists.
Bartolo Colon.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Any others?
Bartolo, is he arguably as good as anybody else who wore 40? Is there another standout that I'm totally missing?
I wouldn't say a standout, but he's got a great name.
A great name.
Great name. Played in the 80s.
Oh. I'm blanking.
Ernie Camacho.
Yeah, okay.
You also have Jim Hegan.
Sure you do.
He's at the Hoff at St. Ignatius, by the way.
Is he?
Do that, yeah. Ken Harrelson. I think he goes by Hawk because he's also an announcer now, I believe. He announced for a while. Rick Wise. Remember Rick Wise? Bud Black. That's the one I thought you'd get.
Painted B black.
Yes.
Painted black.
He's doing some managing. And then Kelly Shopik. I know that's one of your
favorites. Kelly Shopik. I would have never guessed he was. Wow.
That's Kelly Shopik.
Huh.
So that's your group. That's your jersey numbers for 4-0.
Wow. I did poorly.
No, you did fine. You did your best. That's all you can ask for. Speaking of your best, you and I have obviously turned the corner now, where we kind of had not a ton going on at the end of summer, and now it's turned into, I think the word is gangbusters, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. It has been, Yeah, hot and heavy. I know a lot more a lot more for you than me, but many more events. So getting some miles in the car, and I know we'll talk a little bit more about this later, but certainly very exciting to watch our kids compete in some sports
Very true.
and do all that.
Yeah.
So, so is there anything that you had an opportunity to do on your own before the summer ended that you wanted to do on your own?
On my own?
On my own.
I enjoyed some steak dinners with some friends.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Good for you. You had some me time. That's what you need.
Yeah.
My out and about today will include some me time. I had one day of me time, which was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
So
I did that. Other than that, different kids went on campouts, and so I got to spend time individually with some kids. So get to do that here again this coming weekend, and that's kind of, it's kind of extra fun because I don't know, it's just different when you're one-on-one with them as opposed to everybody's around.
Yes.
So I like that.
Agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, I mean, I'll throw it out there. What do we have going on in the show?
We have a bunch of things going in the show. Ken, how wide is your tongue?
Not going to answer that.
Well, I'm going to explain why we're asking. A museum might want to rethink its security, or maybe just start by getting some. That might be an option. And what does the number 2 have to do with a bat dog? We have the answer coming up.
And now, a woman's perspective.
What did God say after creating man? I could do so much better.
This has been a woman's perspective.
Time for some overachievements, Mr. Klopp.
Indeed.
And a playing card sticker is a world record holder. How about that?
Well,
Brian Berg created a 54-level house of cards in 8 hours to claim the record for the tallest house of cards built in 8 hours. How about that? Berg also holds the record for the tallest playing card structure, 25 feet and 9 inches, and that was set in 2007. I think Brian Berg's pretty good with cards, wouldn't you say?
that's some impressive stacking. I don't know
You
how
think
those
House
guys
of
do
Cards
that.
is his favorite show on Netflix.
That could be. That could be.
Okay.
I don't know.
Good for him.
We have another one. Brittany Lacayo of Texas has the new world record for the widest female tongue. Her tongue is 3.11 inches wide. The previous record was 2.89 inches. Lacayo's tongue is exactly as wide as the average length of an adult woman's tongue. How do you measure? What do you measure from?
I don't know.
Is that where the muscle starts, way back in your throat? And if so, who's measuring this?
I don't know. That was going to be my question.
And
maybe
more
Gene
important-
Simmons. Maybe
Say
Gene
again?
Simmons. Maybe Gene Simmons is. He's
Could
fairly
be.
into tongues.
Well, the second question would be, how popular is Brittany Lacayo?
Well, she's popular now because she was on this podcast. I'll tell you that.
Ken Dorsnick sidestepping questions as best as anybody can.
Nobody's better.
There are your overachievers.
The most trusted name in journalism, Klopp's Clips.
All right, Ken, here we go. The French Museum of European and Mediterranean Civilizations has an exhibit on naturist paradises. And once a month on a designated date, The museum is encouraging visitors to check out the exhibit in the buff.
In the buff.
Yeah, it's naturist.
Wow.
Well,
okay.
Almost in the buff. You got to wear shoes to avoid splinters.
Well, that makes sense, and for health reason, you don't.
But
want
other
any
than
fungus in there.
Other than that, birthday suit.
You doing that?
I don't have.
Your answer. What you're saying right now is no. You're saying
Can't
no.
get to France for that.
No.
What about you?
No.
No. The Hecht Museum in Israel has many artifacts that are thousands of years old. The artifacts are not encased in glass or other protection because of the museum's belief that people should enjoy the items without obstructions. Well, that's nice in theory, but over here in reality, a family recently visited, and among the family was a curious 4-year-old boy who spotted a 3,500-year-old jar. The boy gave the jar a small tug, pulling the jar off the display and crashing to the floor where it broke.
Oh, shoot.
The museum thinks the jar could be restored, and they've even invited the family back for an organized tour to show there are no hard feelings.
You sure they want to invite them back? I mean, what else is the kid
Well,
gonna do?
I get the whole no obstructions. Why does anybody need to touch this stuff?
I don't know. A great question. That's always been a very big discussion point with myself with many of these famous museums. What do you need to touch the piece of art for? You just
Right.
look at it. It's
Right.
not going to do anything. It's
Right.
not interactive.
It's not interactive.
The jar wasn't interactive. Well, actually, it was when it fell on the
did
floor and cracked.
when you, yeah. A street in Oxford, Mississippi, home to the University of Mississippi, closed for a while after a delivery truck dropped dozens of cases of beer. The police department posted some photos on X asking drivers to avoid the area and, quote, no, you cannot help, come and help clean up.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. A 9-year-old Brooklyn, New York boy was reported missing, but found a short time later. The boy left his apartment around 7 a.m., but did not show up at school. Parents called police, who put out a description. A TV station sent their helicopter to the scene. That is when reporter Dan Rice spotted the kid hanging out on the rooftop of his family's building. The kid was just playing hooky. So police went up and got him and took him back to his parents.
That's eyewitness news right there. That's what it's all about.
Everywhere.
That's classic.
In sports, Joey Chestnut is in the record books. He wolfed down 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes during a Netflix Labor Day special on Monday. Excuse me. The 83 hot dogs not only beat his competitor, Takeru Kobayashi, but it also beat his previous world record of 76, set back in 2021.
83 dogs.
83
10
in 10
minutes.
Over
8 a minute.
Yeah, he did overeat for a minute. He did overeat. Yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
he's got to be feeling something today with that.
In Florida, the Phillies single A baseball team introduced its new bat dog after the previous one retired. Lucy May is a 10-month-old Labrador who ran out of the dugout in the third inning of her debut game last week. She bypassed the bat and ran into the visiting team's dugout. Then she came out and ran back on the field. She approached the pitcher's mound and then stopped and pooped on the field.
No, it's not a good start.
Twice she did this.
Oh,
She pooped twice. The team says that's okay. Lucy May is keeping her job.
wow.
Yeah,
This is a shtick that many teams are doing right now, and
yeah.
just got to make sure you have the right dog.
If you remove a couple words, you've got what's going on there. Too. A couple letters, you've got
That's 100% correct.
Yeah. Well, I'm Ted Klopp. That's news to me.
Ted, we're out and about Northeast Ohio, literally Northeast Ohio, spending our hard-earned money. And you know what products I was buying.
Yes.
Food and drink.
Of course.
Let's see. A couple cross-country races I attended. I was in the fine town of Menor. Nice concession stand, had great coffee. I was in Fortress Obitz, which is right near Columbus. That's where they host the OHSA preseason meet. And it's actually where they have the OHSA cross-country state championships.
Oh.
Very cool venue. I paid $6 for a black coffee. That was a little much.
$6?
$6. You
My
heard it.
God.
Yeah,
Did it
that
do
was
tricks?
yeah, it was from a food truck. It was hot at least, but yeah, it was warm. Had to work my first football game since 2008. So we've had a bit of a hiatus working high school football. And so I was there to take on Medina playing Stowe. I'm part of the Medina Boosters, and I was there as a person to help the sponsors and support the team, and I did that, and I actually got to go out for the coin toss and watch them do that. But yeah, what did I have that day? Oh, I had myself a pop and I had a hot dog. So took that in. A couple of these places I've attended to a cult multiple times. I'm not going to say how many times, but they did a great job of taking care of me. Mulligan's in Strongsville. Went to the Sportsman. That's a new place. Slim and Chubby's, Dapper Dan's, and the Red Wagon Farm.
Slim and Chubby's may be my favorite name for a restaurant.
It is outstanding. They always treat you very well. Great people. So earlier in the show, we talked about, Ted, did you have an opportunity to do anything on your own? And you did mention
Yeah.
you had to take dinner with friends. I actually literally had one day on my own. It was an afternoon. I had the day off. And so I attended an afternoon weekday Guardians game.
Oh, nice.
So I went to the game. I like going to those. Obviously, that's the first one I've been to in a very long time just because of work. But it's great. I don't mind crowds, but it's kind of nice when there's not as many people there. So I paid $20 for a standing room ticket. They gave me a voucher for a beer. And so I just was on my own, and I kind of walked throughout the stadium, all the different standing room areas.
Uh-huh.
Went to one area is kind of cool in it would be left field. And I'm standing there and I look to my right and I look and I'm like, wow, I think I know who that guy is. And then I have to do the I call it the older person thing where you're like, how do I know that person? I'm like, holy crap. I watch a daily podcast on this guy and he does sports betting stuff. So I turned, his name's Brian Power. He lives in Westlake. And I went up to him and I said, hey, I felt kind of awkward. Most times people don't want some older guy coming up to him. I'm like, hey,
Hey.
my name is Ken and I kind of watch your podcast every day. He's like, no kidding. So we talked for maybe 5-10 minutes and I broke away. I don't want to break up his day, but he was pretty nice. He did a shout out on X for me and all that other stuff. So yeah, shout out to Brian Power. He works for a gambling group, I guess you could call it, sports betting group called Wager Talk. And I actually followed his game. We at the Guardians game, he said to take the Guardians, and gosh darn it, they won. So
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my out and about. I spent some time with my parents. We went to dinner at Catherine's. Been to Catherine's off Pearl Road and right near Parma. So went there a couple times. Costa and Vicks took some of that in with my uncles. We've wrapped up Huff and Puff softball. So that's done for the year. Yeah, it's closing. I mean, I feel like the summer's coming to an end, Ted. I hate to say it. It just is.
It's
All
here.
my favorite things are done.
Yep.
So, but that's my report. I felt I did a decent job. I'd give myself a C-. What report do you have on your out and about, sir?
Well, it's hard to believe we've already had 2 hockey games
you've had 2 hockey games. And
Yes.
just turn the page to September.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
These were actually last 2 weekends ago.
Okay.
We got started quick.
You certainly did.
I'm proud to say that Gus, my middle son, had 2 assists in one of the games.
Ooh, good for him.
So that was fun to watch.
Outstanding.
And I'm excited because I'll have more out and about next time. Who knows when that'll be. We are going to some travel hockey. We're going to Columbus.
Oh,
Games
wow.
This weekend.
Wow.
So I get some one-on-one time with the Gus.
Very nice. Joe, just the 2 of you.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Hi.
it's just a day trip.
Uh-huh.
And the other kids have football and soccer and hockey.
Many
So,
things.
yeah, we're going. So we got that, and seen quite a few games at Gilmore recently for middle school and one high school game. They have good hot dogs. They have good hot dogs.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really have any other out and about. Well,
Oh, you
wait a minute.
do.
Hold on.
Come on.
We went for steak. We went for steak at Delmonico's.
Good for you.
Delmonico's, baby.
It's been a long time since I've been there. How was it?
Had the lobster, the sweet, sweet lobster bisque.
How was it? Everything you thought it'd be and more?
Oh, that stuff is so good. The steak was
good.
great.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
it was awesome. So
Yeah, you missed an out and about.
what?
You texted me. You put it on social media.
What did I do?
You don't even know what you did? You went and saw some football at John Carroll, for God's sake.
Oh, the Ignatius game. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh boy.
You're not
It's
giving
a
us the full
long-
report.
Got to be 30 years since I've seen that team play. And I know Coach Kyle retired. What is it, 2 years now?
Yep.
Yeah, they're in the middle of a rebuilding phase, it appears, to this observer's eye. They can't throw or catch very well.
That'll
I mean,
come.
maybe they can, and I'm just, it's been a while since I've seen high school football. So, but 21-14, I think was the final.
Yeah, that was the Menor, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Menor. Yeah.
Ton of people there. Saw Mr. Lauer. And for any Ignatius
Wow.
folks watching, listening, he was the reading teacher when I was at Ignatius. I don't know how these people do it. He looks the same. He's not aged in 30 years.
I call this this whole conversation we're having about people looking the same, not aging. I call this the Dick Clark syndrome.
Yeah. And we're walking
I
up
could
to
put
the,
so many people into that mix.
we're walking up to the ticket gate thing, and all of a sudden I hear this voice that I know, and it, Cloppers, what are you doing?
Unbelievable.
It's like time has stood still.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And
Just classic.
so we visited for a few. He remembered one of my kids' names, remembered my wife's name. I haven't seen him he goes to our church. I haven't probably seen him in, God, I don't know how long. But yeah, time has stood still. Watched the game. I was a little disappointed we didn't see Script Cats, but I guess they don't do that every time. And it looks like the band isn't as big as it used to be, and I'm not sure they have enough members. Maybe they just need to do a Script C. I don't know.
They could. Yeah, they could.
So
Yeah, a lot of that
Yeah,
stuff
that
has changed
was-
to an extent.
it
So,
was fun to see. Yeah, it was cool.
that's awesome. I'm glad you're able to do that. That's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Well, Ted, well done on your out and about. Thanks for supporting your local high schools. Obviously, a local college. You're at Don Shula Stadium. How did it feel?
I was.
Did you eat anything there?
I did not. My kids had the thing of ice that you get and then you
Icy?
spray. Huh?
Icy?
No.
Shaved ice.
Yeah, and then you spray the flavor all over it,
Yeah.
full of
Yep.
sugar and such.
Oh, it has to be. That's the only way to go.
Yeah, so we did
Very
that.
nice.
Or they did
That's
that.
awesome. Well, thanks for running around and supporting your local businesses.
I
You have
just-
one more thing.
I just want to point out we left with the same three kids we arrived with. So it was
Oh,
good.
that's a great move. Sometimes, you know what? I understand it.
Well, there are times
Come with
when
three,
my
you
wife
leave
and
with
I
three.
what's that?
You come with three, you leave with three. It
There are
could be
times
different
when
kids,
my
but
wife
you
and
have
I will
three.
say, if we could just leave with one or two, we'd be okay. But
Oh my gosh. Now, I guess that's a conversation for the Patreon version of this.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Ted, thank you for your update. I did the best for my report. And ladies and gentlemen, please continue to support your local businesses. And you too can be super happy to be out and about just like us.
Good news, Ken. Babe Ruth called his shot. So has Cameron Vick of North Carolina. Vick told lottery workers he was feeling confident about his chances to win when he bought a $1 cash 6 ticket. Well, that night he hit for more than $160,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine some of the people in his town probably called him something other than Vic. You know what I'm saying?
I think I do. Yeah.
They probably called him Vic's Vapor Rub. That's what they called
Oh,
him.
is that what it was?
Yeah.
I had a different thing in, well,
Dude, he felt it. He felt the force in him and he won the 160.
yeah.
Congrats to him, man.
Yeah.
That's getting results is what that is.
That's getting it done. And that is some good news.
Oh no, not a dad joke.
Ted, I went to the aquarium this weekend, but I decided not to stay long.
Oh, why?
There's just something fishy about that place.
That joke was horrible.
Ken, we're coming to the end of episode 140 of Two Middle-Aged Men in Cleveland. Our frequency of episodes has seemingly gone to a crawl here, but we continue to publish these periodically as time allows. I don't know what your schedule is. We got 3 kids playing. So the hockey season starts during fall sports. So we got
Right.
2 kids playing football and 1 kid playing soccer, and then all 3 of them are playing hockey.
Yep.
So people look at me funny when they say, how's business? And I say, well, I'm working at my wife's company during the day and then I'm Ubering at night. And they say, you have to Uber? I say, well, I run my kids all over the place. Oh. Yeah,
The little sign on. Do you have the mustache on the car?
I should.
You should put the mustache on the
should.
car. My gosh.
Last 2 weekends ago, we had 2 hockey games, 2 football games, 1 soccer game, and 3 hockey practices.
I think your Uber name, you need an Uber name. I think I'm going to go with, it's on that award. Every time I see it, I think it, Ted Klopp.
Oh, yeah.
Ted Klopp.
Ted Klopp.
Yep.
Ted Klopp. My
That's
son
fine.
was in my office not too long ago. He said, Daddy, how come your name's misspelled? I said, what are you talking about? Your name's misspelled. No, they meant to do that. Oh, okay. So, yeah.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
Yep. That's it. So how is your life quite busy at the moment?
What's that?
Is your life quite busy at the moment?
Yeah, because last night I had a fantasy draft and then I got invited last minute to be part of another fantasy draft at the same time.
Oh, well. All right.
I thought I did pretty well considering I was in 2 drafts.
At the same time.
at the same time. That's correct. That's correct.
One on the computer, one on the phone.
Yeah, that's all I could do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
boy, I'll tell you, the one went super fast. Not the one we were a part of, but the other one. It was 30 seconds to draft. That's all you got.
Really?
Yeah, it's not
That's
a keeper
pretty.
league.
I
Not a
think that's
keeper
little
league. You
quick.
start from scrap. My team's complete crap. I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get this.
Yeah.
It's all right. So, busy. No, I could say more. The next episode is. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh,
I could-
okay.
I might have some breaking news.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
But yeah, right now I got cross country. Exciting weekend. So it doesn't happen very often. So my daughter's in 7th grade. My son is a junior. They both are in the same school district. They're actually both running at the same event on Saturday in Brecksville. So not obviously competing with one another, but they're running the same event. They both have cross country races at the Brecksville Invitational. I can't remember the name of it. So I'm excited for that. It's my daughter's first race in cross country, and my son actually did really well at the mentor meet. He actually won the open race, so for the JV. So yeah, it should be fun. I'm hoping the weather cooperates and it's continued to be cooler than it has. So I'll tell you this story. I was talking to a teacher friend of mine working at a school in Parma where some of the administrators were walking around and checking the temperature of rooms. One of the rooms that person was working in was over 90 degrees.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you imagine that?
That's.
I mean, let's be honest, it's completely understandable. I'm not going to sit here, I defend the school or no, the kids should get sent home. They weren't built for air conditioning. That's
Right.
just what it was. These are older buildings, man.
Yep.
I don't know. I struggle with that whole thing. Kids should stay home. I will say this past Friday, it was pretty warm. I forgot what am I out and about. God bless it. I forgot it. I'm better than I went to the Moosehead,
Oh,
one of my old neighbors. So, but when I got there, he's like, "Hey, you want to sit outside?" I'm like, "Yeah, I could do that." So they have a nice patio at the Moosehead.
sure they
We're
do.
sitting there and it was great. I mean, there was a little bit of a breeze. Ted, by the time I was done, and we met at like 11:30, by the time we were done,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you could have took my shirt and filled up a cup. I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, just in that amount of time till I was there till about 1, I think it turned up 10 degrees. I got in the car. That's the official gauge for temperature. You have to get it out of your car because God knows you can't use your phone. It said it was 95 degrees. So
Right.
complete classic.
That's hot.
So hats off to the teachers plowing through, getting through the heat. It should be better this week. It should be better.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. How
Can't
about
be
you?
any
Are you
hotter.
fighting through the heat? You working
Fighting
through?
through.
Fully
Fighting
air
through.
conditioned?
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
I just go to the rink if I'm too hot.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. It works well. Yep. And by the way, your thoughts on the big news? Cleveland Browns Stadium is now Huntington Bank Field.
Yeah, I knew something like that was going to come. I
Yeah.
mean, they might as well make their money until 2028.
Right.
So they had to have somebody, they had to have some sponsor of that stadium.
Right.
Here's my question.
Right. Yes.
So when they
moved as a carryover?
no, but they probably have first right, be my guess, if they want to name that thing.
Right.
So it's interesting. God, I hate that stadium. I really hate that whole thing up there.
Yep.
I wish it was better. Well, could change.
Maybe
You
it
like-
will be.
They could try to do everything they want to fix it up. It's still not going to make it any better. So when you have a poor structure and a bad place to start, it's, lipstick on a pig, as they say.
Good.
So we'll see. But yeah, I can't believe we have actual football. I mean, the college football season kicked up, but actual NFL football starting next Sunday.
Well, starting tomorrow, Thursday night.
Oh, Thursday night. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ravens ball versus the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some of that. And there's a Friday game, too.
Well, every night of the week. Let's go.
Are you body painting yourself again for all the Browns games?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Put a
I'll,
stripe with an arrow pointing down.
on your backside? Is that what
But
you do?
both front and back.
I thought you were going to body paint yourself as the elf.
Yeah.
Do you know they're putting that? Okay, we got to wrap this up soon. They're putting that damn elf again on the field.
Yeah. I love the elf.
I mean, I like the elf too, but I don't know why that's like my logo. Come on, dude.
Oh, that's your 50-yard line
Oh,
mascot.
God. All right, what other team doesn't necessarily have a logo and they just put some random thing up there? Nobody. Nobody. Come on. That's our secondhand logo. We'll throw it up there. Once again, I like the elf. I'm cool with it, but no.
Well, when the other option is a dog,
or just a helmet.
Yeah.
An orange helmet. That's my favorite logo. An orange helmet. That's great.
yeah,
I always think it's Bowling Green I'm looking at.
right.
Oh my.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I got. I'm super excited for more football, and then more football. And then you get more football, and then more football. Yes.
And hockey.
Oh, yeah. And throw some hockey. Don't forget about the soccer.
Right.
Well, Ted, thanks to all our guests. You and I, we did a heck of a job today. Appreciate all that. And enjoy the rest of whatever's left of summer. Fall's coming. We're going to have some changing of leaves. Talk about that. And I don't know, maybe soon enough you'll be working for Channel 3 and doing some weather.
Oh
Or there
boy.
might be an opening there. I don't know.
You're right on it.
I'm just trying.
Right on it.
I'm just speaking what I'm seeing.
I believe there's a cold front moving in.
It could be.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Klopp. Well, unless you forgot, I want to make sure that you remember, as well as everybody else, that we're just two middle-aged men in Cleveland.
Two Middle-Aged Men in Cleveland is sponsored by Westminster AV, custom audio-visual packages for all occasions.